Hello students, welcome back. Today in this session, we will study the remaining part of the chapter Packing. This is our 7th chapter from our book Beehive. So let's start to read the remaining part, and this is the 12th paragraph. So students, as we had studied in a previous lecture that George said that the disappearance of the butter was the most amazing thing that he had known, and Harris said that the disappearance of the butter was a mystery. And George saw the butter was sticking to Harris' back and said that it had been there all this while. So as you had studied that Harris and George, they were doing nothing, only Jerome was packing the things, but something that was given to them, and they decided that they will pack these things. As they had packed it, the whole thing was disturbed. So they disturbed the whole things, and George also disturbed the arrangement of spoons inside and spoiled 3 lemons. And here they also broke a cup at first, and next Harris put the strawberry jam on a tomato, squeezing it. So next moment George stepped on the butter, as you had studied in a previous lecture, and then a circus of mismanagement and confusion took over the place, and George tried to put the butter in the kettle once he got it off his slipper, and the butter would not go in and nothing would come out. They scraped it out, and George put it on the chair, and while Harris sat on it, it stuck on him, and they searched around the room in wonderment. So throughout, all around, the confusion created. So all around there was a situation full of confusion, and what they were doing, it creates laughter and it creates the humor. So students, let's start paragraph 12. Of course, Montmorency was in it all, of course. So Montmorency's ambition in life is to get in the way and be sworn at. Yeah, be sworn at means get scolded. If he can swim in anywhere where he particularly is not wanted and be a perfect nuisance and make people mad and having things thrown at his head, then he feels his day has not been washed. Here sworn at means get scolded, and squirm. Squirm means to wriggle or to twist one's body. And nuisance here to cause inconvenience or annoyance. So here Jerome's pet dog, the name is Montmorency, participated in all this. His aim was to interrupt everyone and then get scolded for it. And Jerome adds that if Montmorency was able to twist into a place and create nuisance by angering people and get things thrown at him in return, so he felt that he had utilized the day in a good way. To get somebody to stumble over him and curse him steadily for an hour is his highest aim and object, and when he has succeeded in accomplishing this, his conceit becomes quite unbearable. Here stumble means to trip over a hurdle, and curse means scold. Conceit means here his pride in himself. So Montmorency's aim was to get people trip over him and scold him. By doing this, he felt that he had fulfilled his aim and would feel proud of his achievement, and that was Montmorency's Jerome's pet dog's ambition. Move to next paragraph. He came and sat down on things just when they were wanted to be packed, and he labored under the fixed belief that whenever Harris or George reached out their hand for anything, it was his cold damp nose that they wanted. He put his leg into the jam, and he worried the teaspoons, and he pretended that the lemons were rats and got into the hamper and killed 3 of them before Harris could land him with the frying pan. Here worried means disturbed. Pretended means to behave as if something is true when you know that it is not. So here pretended means to behave, and him, hit or punch someone. So Montmorency sat on the things to be packed. He thought that when George and Harris reached out for the things to be packed, they were reaching out for his cold, wet nose and would bring it forward for them. So he stepped into the jam bottle. So Montmorency put his step into the jam bottle. He shook the teaspoons. He acted as if the lemons were rats and stepped into the hamper to kill these rats. And he was stopped by Harris, who hit him with a frying pan. So it means here Montmorency, dear pet dog, got into the hamper and put his leg into the jam. And he also disturbed the arrangement of spoons inside and spoiled 3 lemons, thinking that they were rats, and he had to destroy them before Harris could sway him away with the frying pan. Understood? Okay, right? Move to next paragraph. Here you can see the picture that Harris was stopping Montmorency with a frying pan. Harris said, I encouraged him. I didn't encourage him. A dog like that doesn't want any encouragement. It's the natural original sin that is born in him that makes him do things like that. Here Harris blamed Jerome for encouraging Montmorency for doing all this mischief. So Harris blamed Jerome for the menace caused by the dog. So he is blaming to Jerome that the thing that had been, the menace had been done by the dog, and it was according to the Jerome's. So Harris blamed Jerome for encouraging Montmorency for doing all this mischief. And Jerome said that a dog like Montmorency did not need encouragement. It was the born to be like that and act like that. The packing was done at 12:50, and Harris sat on the big hamper and said he hoped nothing would be found broken. George said that if anything was broken, it was broken, which reflection seemed to comfort him. He also said that he was ready for bed. We were all ready for bed. Harris was to sleep with us that night, and we went upstairs. Reflection means here thoughts. So at 12:50 they had packed the hampers. So their packing was over. Harris sat on it and said that hopefully nothing would break in it. George was indifferent and said that if something broke, it would not matter. As they were ready for bed, they went upstairs to sleep. Go to next paragraph. We tossed for bed and Harris had to sleep with me, he said. Do you prefer the inside or the outside, Jay? Here Jay refers Jerome. I said I generally prefer to sleep inside a bed. Harris said it was odd. George said, what time shall I wake you fellows? Harris said 7. I said no, 6, because I wanted to write some letters. Here tossed means throw something somewhere lightly or casually. So as they settled in their beds, Harris asked Jerome if he preferred the inside or the outside of the bed. Jerome said that he preferred to sleep on the inside of the bed, and this seemed strange to Harris. Jerome asked them that he should wake them up at what time? Harris replied 7, while Jerome wanted to wake up at 6, as he had to write some letters. Harris and I had a bit of a row over it, but at last split the difference and said 6:30. Wake us at 6:30, George, we said. So a bit of row here means an arrangement. Split the difference. This means that they agreed on 6:30 because it was halfway between 6 and 7. So here Harris and Jerome had a discussion on the time, and finally they settled on 6:30, each accommodating his time by half an hour. Move to next paragraph. George made no answer. We found on going over that he had been asleep for some time. So we placed the bath where he could tumble into it on getting out in the morning and went to bed ourselves. So tumble means to fall quickly and without control. So George did not respond as he was asleep. Harris and George made mischief by placing the bathtub next to George's bed. so that he would fall into out as he woke up, on the pretext that this way he would take a bath as soon as he got up. So here this paragraph shows that they went upstairs and tossed into bed. Harris and Jerome were to sleep together. George asked when he should wake them up in the morning. Harris said 7, while Jerome said to wake them up at 6. While they settled their opinion for waking up at 6:30 a.m., George fell asleep. They placed a bathtub where he could tumble into when he got out from his bed in the morning. Then both of them went to sleep. So students, with this situation that creates humor and laughter, the chapter is going to end. Now this chapter is over with humor and laughter. This chapter is an extract from Three Men in a Boat. So students, I think you understood well. Study well, keep learning. Thank you all of you.